So we're live here with my daughter there. Say hi. Can you say hi? We're walking around. She's a new addition since the house was built. She's almost 9 months old next week, so they grow up quick. So gonna do a little update here and talk about landscaping in the yard. So we've been here now. It's crazy. In July, it'll be 3 years. So we're 3 months away from being in this house for 3 years. We planted the grass, obviously, at the end of this month will actually be 3 years ago. But then we put in all the plants 2 years ago. So I'm going to give you an update on everything. So let me switch this around. So I need pine straw bad. I know I'm actually doing that. This week is on my to-do list. I have been super busy here lately. Might even call my pine straw guy and see if his guys are available to come put it out, but I need pine straw bad. But anyways, lost one of the little bunny grass here over the winter. Probably got some winter kill, so I think I'm gonna split that one right there and replace it with that one. This one's starting to come in a little bit. These dianthus just finished a flush of blooms. They'll start blooming again soon. They were super pink. These are the cheddar pink dianthus. I'm going to change this mailbox out soon with a cedar 6x6 is in the plan. I heavily pruned back all of the plants this year. The butterfly bushes, the roses, everything. I need to come in here and weed some of this out. I've got some weeds growing up through here. I'll pull that here. And then I sprayed glyphosate, Roundup, or whatever in the beds the other day. This all starting to die off. And then, like I said, I'm going to do pine straw this week. Pine straw is a big undertaking in this yard. It takes 250 bales of pine straw, which is a lot of pine straw. So it's no easy task. But anyways, working on cutting everything back. Look how everything's blooming. So these are the double knockouts here. Actually, I think these are just regular knockouts. I don't remember those are double knockouts. These are all drift roses here. The white ones have just started blooming here within the last couple days. The pink and the peach colored ones, that's a peach colored one, that's a pink one. These have been blooming for about, I guess, a week and a half, 2 weeks now. And then the butterfly bushes, these are the Pugster Blues here, I believe. These are dwarf butterfly bushes. These have not started blooming yet, but they're getting ready to bloom, as you can see here. These are the blooms. Those are going to start blooming here really soon. So that's cool. I got to come in here and do my bed redefiner here before I put pine straw out. The Bermuda's coming in nice. It's getting pretty thick. I just fertilized it again today. Just sprayed about a half a pound per 1,000 square feet of urea on it today. And I'm going to, like I said, do the pine straw. I had a leak in my irrigation thing. I had to dig that up. I had a leak there. I fixed that over the winter. I still have not put in the in-ground irrigation system yet. That's on the to-do list. The only in-ground stuff I have here is for all the beds. I have drip irrigation and micro sprays for everything's. The snowball viburnums were so pretty. They finished blooming already for the year, but they were super pretty. They've gotten pretty big and they bloomed a lot. These I know that looks kind of bad, but these are the sunshine ligustrums, and they do that like this time of year. They like kind of balled out, and then they'll come back like within a week or two. They'll start growing back new growth again. The grasses are white cloud muley grass. Those are starting to come back in. I cut those back. This is Carter's little area here. So some of you may have watched our house build, and some of my other videos know that our a little over a year ago now, our son Carter passed away from brain cancer, and we made this little kind of dedication garden for him. I added some salvia in here this year. The perennials are coming back. We've got some of the dianthus here. Those are different dianthus or red dianthus. Carter loved Iron Man, so we've got lots of reds in here. These ones in the back were blooming about a week ago, but they have kind of a reddish orangish flower to them. They'll bloom again here soon. with a new flush. I still have some more to do in this blank area here. I lost, well, I'll come to that in a second. I put in a few more of the Pugster bushes here. Those were just planted last year in this corner here. All the stuff on the wall is coming in nice. That's the blue, whatchamacallit, something blue fescue, which I planted in there. It came back really good. That one's super big. I put in all the annuals last week, so we got in all of our new annuals here. These are gonna all start filling out soon. As you can see, I've got all my micro sprays there behind it. That runs off of that in-ground irrigation over there. I lost a gold mop cypress, so I've got another one I'm just gonna dig up in the back and transplant it out here to the front. I have a bunch of gold mops in the back. I plan on adding some more rose bushes in here. Probably, I think I'm going to do a grouping of 5 rose bushes here. You want to plant in odd numbers. Coming around here, it'll show you some more of the annuals. Got the super bells. I always love the super bells. Those are like the little mini petunias. This is the Georgia, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a sort of a ground cover. And it blooms right now, but it'll stop blooming soon. But it's something Georgia, and it's pretty blue blooms. And then I put in some 1, 2, 3 of lantana. So there's a lantana in the back, and then I did vinca in here this year. So we've got a bunch of different vinca here, different colors of vinca. Again, the super bells. And then I got these little, they're calling them like golf ball, I don't know what it is, something golf ball or something, but they have these little yellow golf ball looking flowers. So I put those in as annuals. I just did 2 of them here, and then I did some of them I did 1 over here. So I only did 3 over here. These will all fill in and get super thick, and we'll have a row of flowers behind this. And of course, you got your creeping Jenny here. That'll start growing here soon, growing over the wall. It kind of stunts back in the wintertime, sort of goes dormant, and then it comes back in the spring. I had cut back these butterfly bushes pretty significantly. These are I can't remember if these are the Pugster Blue or the Pugster Amethyst ones. Actually, I think those are Pugster Blue, and those are Pugster Blue, and these are Pugster Amethyst, or vice versa. But there's a grouping of these here. The Deodar cedars have really taken root here. They've really grown a lot in the last year. And then that is the Rustlin in the Pink, I think was the name, Japanese maple. That one won't get super big. It's more of just a small ornamental. And then I've got my lace leaf Japanese maple over there. As you can see, I protected the trunk of it from deer. We had deer destroy trees. There used to be a Atlas cedar there that got destroyed by a deer, and as you can see, you see how the magnolias are a little barren in the middle. That's from deer damage as well. Coming over here, we've got the spirea in here. We've got 3 spirea here, and we've got 3 more spirea over there. One of them kind of was looking a little puny, so I dug it back up and amended the soil. I have some soil drainage issues, as you've seen from some other videos. We have some soil drainage issues in this bed, so I've raised up a lot of the plants. I really should have come in here and put in a whole, probably 3 truckloads of topsoil in here and raise this whole bed up. As you can see, our septic tank is underneath here, so our septic tank is here, and then all of our drain fields run out there in the yard. Again, these cheddar pink dianthus, they've already done their flush. I mean, this was totally pink. Like a week ago, it was just a sea of pink here. They finish this flush, and then they'll start another flush here within the next few weeks. As you can see, we've got a coral, a pink, and a coral. I think this is the coral color here. I've got 2 of those. I don't know why I did 2 for some reason. I was going to do another one there, and I may actually go get another one there. These are right here over top of the septic tank. I kind of brought in a bunch of soil here and mounded this up, and we've got a bunch of Rudbeckia, which are black-eyed Susans, and then I added some these in here this year. So these are all perennials, so these will come back. There's that one, that one, that one, and those are they're called like little Becky's or something, which my wife's name is Becky. So those will have a white and yellow flower as opposed to the black-eyed Susans who have that sort of yellowy orange flower. And then I just added some kind of liriope, some variegated liriope in here just for some texture and color difference. These are daylilies, and I need to divide them next year. They've multiplied quite a bit. Those daylilies will come in and look pretty. And I had some abelias in here, and they just didn't do very well because, again, the soil drainage issues. So they died, and I just ripped them out. And I added in this whole bed here, and these are all perennials here. You've got some salvia. I honestly can't remember the name of this one, but as you can see, it has like a purpley blue flower. I added some vinca in here just to fill in the gaps until these get bigger. And then again, added some variegated liriope there. Goodness gracious, I can't talk today. So I've added all that in, so that looks nice and pretty. And again, we've got our irrigation, our micro sprays spraying in here. And then, like I said, I'll be doing pine straw and mulch here this week. That's on the to-do list. I'm gonna redo this a little bit. I want to redo this little section. So the dog over the winter has peed in this area and peed all over this and basically like stunted that back significantly. And then I'll core out and fix this here pretty soon. But I want to kind of redo this, and maybe next year before I get to it, but I want to kind of do some more perennials in here and continue the theme of having the perennials in here. These are the endless summer hydrangeas here. We've got one on each side. Those are coming in nice. I cut those back. I got in all the annuals in the pots. We've got our sunshine ligustrums. We've got our loropetalums. Those are which loropetalums are those? I can't remember. But they only get like 4 feet tall. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want them like overtaking this porch, because loropetalums can get huge. So those are getting nice and full. I just fertilized all the plants today. Actually, I put out granular fertilizer on all the shrubs and everything today. These were there's one here, and then there's one on that side. I pruned these back pretty significantly, and they've grown a lot. These are the strawberry vanilla maybe, or strawberry something hydrangea. And then I ended up, we did have a bunch of these azaleas in here, but 2 of them died. I had 3 of them, 2 of them died. So we put in some more Walker, shh. We put in some more limelight hydrangeas here. So these 3 are limelights. These 2 are new limelights. Those 3 were already there. And then the Bloodgood Japanese maple there is getting nice and full. All of the, as you can see, all the roses in here are blooming like crazy. These are all drift roses through here. So there's a mixture of coral and pink drift roses. You've got sort of kind of alternated them. And again, these sunshine ligustrums are looking kind of puny, but they'll start popping here pretty soon. And again, a mixture alternating pink and coral drift roses here. We've got the kaleidoscope abelias right there that have a different kind of kaleidoscope of colors, as they say. And then these, we've got a grouping of 5 white drift roses, and they just started blooming here within the last few days. Some gold mop cypress here. These are crepe myrtles. These are Natchez crepe myrtles, so these will get very big, get about 20, probably 20 plus feet tall. I'm pruning them every year to make them grow tall. So I got to come out and actually prune some of these, knock some of these little suckers off. You basically want to send the growth to the top. And then my rule of thumb, I don't practice what they call crepe murder. I never prune back anything. Basically, if it is thicker than my thumb, I don't prune it back. So as you can see, I stopped the pruning right there on these, kind of topped them off right there. And then I've selectively pruned out the inside, and I don't prune out any super thick stuff. And then again, these are butterfly bushes here coming in there. So this is the drainage that we had to install a couple years ago because it was washing out my neighbor's yard. So this, all the water from the road comes down across here, drops into this swale, goes down into that drain, goes underneath the road, dumps out the other side right over there, and then it runs down a swale all the way down the side of the property. Got this little strip of grass here that I kind of, in hindsight, would not do again because I have to mow that separately with a different machine. And the same with this grass here. I have to mow all that separately. So as you can see, we've got a swale down through here. That's where the other end of the pipe dumps out, and then all that water runs all the way down the swale and dumps off into the woods and goes into the creek. The swale continues down the hill, and then there's a ditch, and then it just goes into the creek down there. So all this flows all the way back into the creek. And then I also put in a drain here, and then there's another little swale right over there that feeds into that swale, that all the water drainage flows into that area. I did a video about that a while back. Nothing really changed with this area here around my shop. This was something I added, I want to say last year or the year before. I can't remember. I think maybe it was yeah, I don't remember when I added this. But anyways, I had to replace this Blue Atlas cedar. The other one that was here got annihilated by deer. So that one, I just planted that one last year. I replaced the one that was there before that died with that one. I've got to get another, for some reason these salvia died, so I got to get one more salvia here. And I really need to dig this up and actually put some proper soil in, but I ran out of garden soil. As you can see, I've got a grouping of 3. These are perennial salvia, and then I had another salvia that died there. So maybe I'll go get 2 salvia and replace these. And then we've got our gold mops here and our miscanthus grass. I need to mow this little trench. There's the other little swale I talked about there. All that gutter pipes and everything flows through here. The backyard is still kind of a work in progress. The grass is coming in great. Over here, we just got a mixture of fescue and Bermuda. Right now, the fescue looks fantastic, but in like a month from now, it will start to decline as the temperatures go up. We did have to cut down our, we had that mimosa tree, if you remember from some other videos. It actually died. It got diseased and died. So I had that taken out back over the winter. So the mimosa tree is gone. And while the guys were out here, I had them limb up that tulip poplar right there, and then I had them also limb up this red oak right here because it had some branches that were kind of hanging out over the house. So now if that tree were to fall down, it would kind of fall straight towards me and it wouldn't hit the house. So I limbed that up, and we limbed that one up. And the backyard just looks fantastic right now. I love fescue this time of year. We're obviously at the beginning of May. I need to mow it. I'm going to mow it tomorrow, actually. I mowed it last Sunday, so it's been a week since I mowed it. I'm going to bump the height up to mow it just a little bit taller. And my neighbor had some trees taken down over here. There was some little scrub trees. He had those taken out, so there'll be a little bit more sunlight in that area over there. As you can see, the remnants of there was a pine, big old pine tree that was here. We're just kind of letting that rot away. The eventual plan actually out here is, when I get about 100 grand extra cash, is we're going to put in a swim pond here. So this is all going to get dug up, and there will actually be a rec pond or a swim pond here with like a waterfall that comes down the hill, and there will be a patio there at the top, waterfall coming down, flowing into the pond. That'll all be in here, and then we'll have this hedge we'll eventually fill in here. What I might do if we do the swim pond is I'll add more of these trees there. As you can see, the damage there, which they swore up and down they didn't do it, but it was 100% them. My neighbor, when he had the yard sprayed, they had some pesticide drift, and as you can see, look, the damage stops. Like right there, that's deer damage right there, that little bald spot. But as you can see, you see how it stops? See how the height difference is? Look where it's green. That's all from pesticide drift. And it's starting to come back. It's starting to green back. I fertilized all these today. They're starting to green back out and grow back out. So I think it'll recover. Some of the ones down there got damaged by deer. I'll show you some of the deer damage here. Eventually we'll have a nice hedge here blocking out the neighbor, but this one was damaged by deer. And then these over here were damaged by deer 2 years in a row, and I had to cut them back. And then they're growing new growth. So that's unfortunate, but I think whenever I do the pond, remember I'm going to put the pond right in here, and then we'll take all the soil and actually berm it up and build a big berm around here. So the pond will sit right over here. And then I think I want to put like an outcropping of maybe like another blue atlas cedar and some like hinoki cypress or something back here in this corner behind the pond. I think that would look really cool. And we'll pull these gold mops out. Like I said, I'm going to transplant one of these gold mops out to the front. I kind of just planted them here as a afterthought. The county made us put in some plants on the hill, and I just grabbed some gold mops and planted them here. And I didn't really, literally I had to put them in one night. Like I didn't put a lot of thought into them. As you can see, they're growing very close. So I'll probably eventually pull these up and move them. And then we might do like some kind of water feature right here too that flows into the waterfall. Maybe some kind of like small little pond right here that flows off down the waterfall and then flows into the other pond down there. I think that would be pretty cool. Again, that's in the future. It's to do that whole project is gonna be probably at least 100 grand. And I mean, that'll be me doing it myself, borrowing my buddy's machine and all that stuff. But here, I put this one in last year. This is a coral bark Japanese maple. As you can see here, I protected the trunk with some plastic because the deer like to rub their antlers on it. And the same with that. That is a autumn cherry, I think is what that's a cherry tree there, an autumn cherry. It's already bloomed for the spring, and then it'll bloom again in the fall and then again in the spring. Nice pretty white blooms. I put these in last year. These have grown in a lot. This is I put a trellis here and all that, and this is coral honeysuckle. So as you can see here, we've got honeysuckle there. So these are coral honeysuckle, and I put in 3 of them last year. I planted them just around this time last year, and they've grown up significantly. They came back huge. We've got our little annual pots here. They're just some marigolds and some vinca. These were literally just like leftovers that I had. So I didn't really put a huge amount of effort. I'll go around to the front and show you the pots on the front porch there. Walker, come on. Let's go, buddy. This is going to be redone in the future, so that's why it still looks like this. We haven't really done a ton with this. I had to plant these juniper in here, these blue rug juniper, when we needed them for erosion purposes for the county, to appease the county. I really didn't want to put that in there because eventually what I would actually like to do is put in like a boulder wall here and integrate that boulder wall into the pond. Again, that's lots of money and time, and that's future stuff. There's that red oak that I had limbed up. One of the projects soon also is to kind of level this area out and put some of the slate chips over here, like I have over here, and kind of extend the driveway. In hindsight, I should have poured the driveway a little bit bigger than I did. You never pour it big enough. So let's walk over here and I'll show you. Oh, and these are hydrangeas here. They're like I forget what they are, but they get eaten by the deer like crazy. The deer love to eat them. And again, remember I mentioned they look a little puny. The deer did some damage to my azalea there. Those deodars again looking great. Coming back over here, I added this bed this year. This was all hosta before, and what I decided to do is actually make this a bed for begonias. Begonias like kind of mostly shade or light shade. These get morning sun, so in the morning they get morning sun right here, and then after about 10 a.m. the sun kind of goes around the house, and this is in the shade the rest of the day. So it's perfect for begonias. Put some begonias in there. We've got some begonias in there. I love begonias. My wife hates them, but I love them. Reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother had lots and lots and lots of begonias in this garden around their pool in their backyard. Just huge, giant beds of white and pink and red begonias. Just reminds me of my grandmother. So got some more hosta in here. We've got one Bobo hydrangea. In hindsight, I probably should have just done another endless summer. Maybe I'll move that Bobo one day. But you got a Bobo and then 2 endless summer hydrangeas. They've gotten huge. And then I transplanted the hosta that were over there, and I just kind of filled them in this little spot right here. So I just kind of stuffed them in right there. This will all eventually just be all hosta right here. This one's gotten huge. So we got hosta here, and then I need to do something here. I'm going to move this gardenia over. That was when I had the guys helping me planting, I hired some day laborers to help me plant. I was out here with them too, but he planted that one so close to that one, and I just haven't had a chance to move it. I'm gonna scoot it out a couple feet, and then put something right here. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some perennial flowers or something, or even a water. My wife talked about maybe doing a water feature here, like just stick a water feature here might be kind of cool. So I don't know. We'll figure that out in the future. We'll talk about these are kind of a mirror image of one another, so we'll just focus on this one. But I always do an annual bed here. This year, kind of my anchor plant was these are Coreopsis here, so we'll have some yellow from the Coreopsis, and then we've got some Mexican heather here. So I got 2 of those Mexican heather. Those kind of are your anchor points in the middle, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 of the super bells. I always do the super bells, these yellow ones in the corners. They'll kind of fill out and grow kind of low and wide. So this will fill out there, and then we filled in the rest with a mixture of pink and red vinca around there, and those will fill in and basically cover this whole area. And flowers, as you can see, I thought I bought the same pink, but those are slightly different pink vinca, but that's okay, no big deal. So these will all fill in. This will all look great. Again, we've already gone through this area, so